The next section we want to discuss is the elements section here. Here you can, change all the what a web developer would call website elements. Stuff like the body text, headings, links. So let's start with the body text first. Let me scroll down here. Here we have a little bit more text. So first we can adjust the color of the text. So let's say you wanted to have this color a little darker. Let's just choose maybe a gray 900 or a black right away. But I would like a grayish color. Okay, that's darker now. Here we can also adjust the font weight. If the font is too thin for you, you might adjust it a little bit. Since on Google Fonts we only selected the weights for normal and bold, these would be our only options that would actually do anything. But you can see here, if I choose bold, it would bolden out the text. Go back to normal, it would normalize the text. Then font size here, you probably know already. Here we can just adjust how big we want this text. So if I want the text in general to be big by default, I would, adjust this a little. Can also make it smaller. I'm gonna leave it on base for now. And then, of course, every time you see these tabs up here, then this is a control that's responsive. So on mobile, for example, as you can see here, we make the text a little smaller so we can fit more on the screen. And then you can see that here. If we move this a little, and the text appears smaller as opposed to the desktop size. And then the line height, of course, can also be adjusted. Right now it's relaxed. If we want a little bit more distance between the lines, we can also set it to loose. Okay. So let's move on. Headings. Yeah, this is very important. So let's say we see here we got this big nice H1 heading up here, and then we got these smaller H2 headings. Let's say if we wanted to make the H2s a little bigger, you would just scroll down, up here you see the H1s, then you will see this divider here, and this is how we can move through the different types of headings. So for the H2, I would like to adjust this font size and make it a little bit bigger, 5XL. And here we go. And yeah, that was pretty much it. Of course, you can do a lot of other things like adjust the colors, the font family. So by default, it's set to secondary font, but if for some reason we wanted to not use the Roboto font, but the Lato font that we used for the body, which is the primary font, we would just set this to inherent. And as you can see, our headings updated here. Okay. And this is something that goes throughout the whole theme, where we basically set up a few default settings, and then throughout the customer you can just choose from these settings as opposed to do it, one by one. And yeah, so you can adjust settings here for all the heading types. And then going back, the last thing are the links. As I can see here, we don't have any links, so let me set a link very quick. So I'm going to close this out. I'm going to edit the page. Scroll down. So let's say we want these two words. I'm just going to put pounds on here. Update. Oops. So now as you can see, now we have a link here. And if we wanted to adjust the look of this link, we'll just go back into our customizer. Go to elements and links. And yeah, then we can adjust the color. So maybe let's make this a little bit brighter. And then when you hover, you get a darker color. That's all right with me. maybe even a lighter color, so we could maybe set this up like that, so we can have a darker color by default, and when you hover it gets a little bit lighter, and I think the color stands out enough to remove the underline text decoration here, and then maybe when you hover over it you want the underline to appear. It's all no problem, can all be set right here. Okay, in the next video we're going to discuss components.